How enticing would it be if you were offered $1 million coming out of high school? Well, you could certainly ask Kevin Garnett, LeBron James, Dwight Howard, and Kobe Bryant. These are all NBA players that skipped college and went straight to the pros. They were all drafted right out of high school. Hi, my name is Cody Beers, and I'm here to tell you about the problem of these high school athletes who skip college and go right to the pros. I'm going to specify in the NBA because it's such a prevalent problem nowadays. You can rely on me for this information because I'm a fan of sports, fan of basketball, and I've done extensive research on the topic. I'm going to focus now on the great and the not-so-great players who have come straight out of high school and gone into the NBA, the opposing views of this topic, the problem that lies, and my solution. So there have certainly been some great NBA players that have come out of the high school and gone straight to the pros. Kevin Garnett is one. He was drafted in 1995. He started the trend, really, and he was a first-round pick, 5th overall. He was a very high pick, and he's won an NBA championship, and he's been a league MVP, which is most valuable player. Kobe Bryant is arguably one of the greatest players of all time. He was the 13th overall pick, first round, high pick in 1996. He's a 5-time NBA champion, a 2-time MVP of the finals, and he's still arguably one of the greatest players and continues to play. LeBron James is a player right now who's getting a lot of hype about it because he was drafted just a few years ago in 2003. He skipped college, went straight to the pros. He was the highest pick, the first pick, and he's been a 2-time MVP, and he's in the playoffs again this year. Dwight Howard was also one of these players. He was the first overall pick in 2004. And he has 3 straight Defensive Player of the Year awards. All of this information can be found at balljunkie.com. But there have been other players that have not been so successful, and one of them is Taj McDavid. Taj McDavid skipped college. He wanted to go straight into the pros. And he never signed or played in the NBA. He declared the same year as Kobe Bryant and is still yet to play in the NBA. Another player is Corleone Young. He has played outside the NBA and again has not played too long in the NBA. And Usman Sis. He's another guy that never really established himself in the NBA. He's been playing over in Russia. You can find this information at DeseretNews.com. So sure, there have been players that have been great, that have come straight out of high school and gone straight to the NBA. Kobe Bryant is one of them. But for every Kobe Bryant, there's been a Taj McDavid, somebody that's never been established, who never signs a pro deal, never gets on a team, and never makes those millions of dollars. So let's look at some of the opposing views now of this problem. One opposing view is if you're old enough to serve in the military, you're old enough to play pro basketball. This is not that great of an argument because in pro basketball it's all about individual statistics. If you don't produce, you get cut in a blink of an eye. You're done. I'd throw this argument out the window. Other opposition has been placed. The blame has been placed on NBA executives and team owners for drafting these players. They see a player who can help a team, they draft him, and then that's it. That's all they care about. They don't care about the team. They don't care about the person himself, just the team. They don't think about 3 years down the road cutting the player. So that's why this argument isn't really all that much of a concern either. There's another argument, this is probably the largest that you hear most about, and that's injury. A lot of arguments are, well, what if LeBron James or Kobe Bryant was hurt in college? Then they would have never made it to the NBA. This is a hard argument to deal with because you're dealing in the realm of what-ifs, so I throw this argument out the window. This information can also be found at docsports.com. So people are always going to see the same situation differently. There's nothing that can be done about that. But now we have to see some varying opinions now that we've seen some varying opinions, let's look at the problem as a whole. The problem is in 2001, 3 of the 4 top picks were out of high school. None had a good career. None of them established themselves in the NBA and lasted too long. And in 2004 and 5, it reached its pinnacle with 8 high school players taken in each draft. So, those out of high school may not succeed. They may have a short career. They may have made that $1 million before the age of 21, but then where do they go? They may only play a couple seasons, 2, 3 at the max in the NBA, and then they have to find another career. You can find this information at DSCN1652. So now that we can see the problem of these young athletes who probably have talent, but they never make it into the NBA, even though they skip college and declare draft eligible, then they only play 2 or 3 years, and then they're cut. They must find a new avenue for their career, and they've never gone to college. I want to discuss my idea of a possible solution. So my solution is, let's look at what needs to be addressed. These high school athletes who are skipping college, they go straight to the pros and they're cut after a few seasons in the NBA. They may have made $1 million or $2, but they're only 21, 22 years old, and they have nowhere to go. They have no alternative career. My solution, to be draft eligible in the NBA, you should have to complete at least 2 years of college before you can go to the NBA. You have to keep a certain GPA, and there shouldn't be help from the teachers and the coaches of pushing that GPA up. After 2005, the NBA has actually made it so they prohibit this. 1 year out of high school and 19 years old minimum is what they have said. You can find this information at DSCN1652. So in conclusion, we see people like Kobe Bryant, LeBron James, Kevin Garnett, and others who are drafted right out of high school. Some have good long careers, most don't. Others never sign, never even get to play 1 game in the NBA. The problem is those that don't get themselves established in the NBA. They don't have any other career. They have no alternative career. They have nowhere to go in life after getting cut. And they've never attended college, so they really don't know what to do. My solution is to keep them in school 2 years, college for 2 years, and a minimum GPA of whatever they deem necessary. So in conclusion, the debate will continue, and it continues to this day. The NBA is actually set to have their collective bargaining agreement expire after this year. And a lot of people are wondering what's going to happen. People are arguing for 2 years, my solution. Others are saying, let's keep it how it is. According to NBC Sports, a lot of people are pushing for the two years out of school, about 75% of owners. So we'll see where this goes. Does anyone have any questions?
I know.
Yes.
How much influence do private sponsors have, like say Nike, for example, or stuff like that with these players?
They have a lot of influence because they can give them an endorsement deal if they take this, and if they go to college, they can't accept that.
Okay. Thank you.
Have any of these been successful in another field?
Yeah, there's been people that actually, I've seen a few players that after they're cut, they go into politics and they do that. So they have found other ways, but to keep them in school would be a good idea. Any other questions?
Why not 4 years of school? Why only 2?
My solution is to keep it at 2 to start, and then we'll see how that plays out.
Thank you.